So, most species get their common names by suggesting an idea themselves when they enter polite society. There's a whole database for making sure there are no duplicates and minimizing confusion. Sometimes their existing name for themselves makes it in, if it's pronounceable enough for the average intelligent being, humans, and there's no easily agreed upon description for them. But usually the common name is a descriptive word, heat seekers, or even a long phrase shortened down for casual use, the mesmerizing ones, or mesmers. Sometimes the nickname becomes more popular than the official name. Nobody calls Armalites the Mighty unless they have to. At any rate, an intelligent race's common name generally tells you something about the way they see themselves. Which made it all the funnier when I found out that the gigantic elephant-like folks I hadn't seen in ages were officially called those who are the correct size. Sizes for short. They were the biggest aliens I'd interacted with personally, and it seems they had opinions about that. How do you suppose that conversation went down? I asked Mur as we walked. The race sidewalk was impressively sturdy, and I felt confident that I could carry on a conversation while carrying the package for delivery. The fact that there was a clear wall instead of railings helped. It was a long drop to the ground. "The diplomats probably thought it was funny," Mur said from behind me, making quiet tentacle step sounds. "All these folks were pushy about it, but they always seem pretty easygoing to me." Sizers ambled past on the main road, behemoths in shades of sunset pink, largely ignoring the smaller citizens on the walkway at head level. None moved with any particular urgency. They probably would have noticed if someone was in stepping on range, but thankfully the architecture had been modified to reduce that risk. Raised walkways lined every building, some leading to ramps and stairways, while others had their own little doors cut into the walls. It was all very thoughtful. I wondered how many accidents had happened before those alterations were put in. Mur suddenly said, "Grab on!" Then the walkway shuddered. I clutched the top of the railing wall, looking about wildly for the danger. It wasn't hard to spot. A handful of babies, toddlers the size of a city bus, had tumbled against the side of the building. The street below us was now a riot of clumsy pink limbs and flapping orange ears, the babies squalling and whapping each other with their trunks. Those trunks came in pairs, top and bottom, and their tails were similarly grabby. These little ones didn't know how to use any of them yet. An adult sizer waded in and separated the children, calming them with strokes of his own trunks and with rumbling words I couldn't hope to interpret, but the walkway was stable now. A giant eye focused on the pair of us, then the sizer switched to a more recognizable language. "Look, you almost made some of the littles fall. Apologize for scaring them." A chorus of badly pronounced apologies drifted up to us. I waved a hand. "Apology accepted. No harm done." Mo agreed, his tone a bit forced. The adult shooed the children away down the road, keeping them corralled between his trunks in the center of the road while they stumbled eagerly. Mo collapsed dramatically into a squid-like puddle of relief. "I am so glad they're leaving. What absolute menaces." They can't help it," I said. "Cute little things. Well, relatively speaking." "Not the word I'd use," Mur said, pulling himself together and getting upright. "I know. None of them are little." "I mean cute. What is cute about those terrors?" he demanded, pointing with a tentacle to where they disappeared in the crowd. One of the babies was spinning its top trunk like a propeller, and another had just tripped over its own feet. "They're adorable," I told him. "You saw them shuffling around looking shy and saying, 'sorry.'" Mur squinted up at me. "You and I have very different ideas of what should be adored. Do humans always appreciate other species' infants?" "Well," I said, thinking, "probably yes. Somebody once explained it to me that since our own young are helpless for so long, we get evolutionarily overclocked for thinking babies are cute, just to make sure we take care of them. That might have spilled over to other things." "That explains a lot," Mur said. He stepped past me to lead the way. I remember Z losing a bet about whether you would pet that spiny little creature a while back. It was precious once it calmed down. According to you. It had a cute little face and made the most charming little noises, I insisted. Even though it looked nothing like your own species, huh? I can't believe you don't think it was cute, honestly. The conversation lasted until we reached our destination, a door with the word medicinary written somewhat clumsily above it. When Mur pushed on the door, it swung open as easily as a cat flap. Our walkway continued along the interior wall, giving us a good view of several adult sizes waiting patiently in line, while others moved about behind a counter. It was all similar to any number of other places I'd been, just at a much larger scale. Since the walkway only led in one direction, we went that way, down a bit of a slope to a wider platform at the end of the counter. One sizer saw us coming and finished talking with a customer, moving over to greet us instead of the next in line. A different receptionist called over that person instead.
"Hello," she said, deep-voiced and cheery. "What could I do for you today?"
I lifted the box. "We have a delivery for you. Medicine, I believe."
"Oh, yes, I heard we were running low on something."
She reached out her trunks for it and I handed it over, feeling like I was faced with a pair of animated engine chutes. I seen Mimi working on parts of her own ship this size. While she set the box aside, I got out the payment tablet with Moore whispering unnecessary reminders of how to set it on magnified holographic mode. This particular client had no chance of being able to sign for the delivery at our scale. She made an elegant swooping signature in midair, then typed in her other identifying information on the holographic keyboard.
"There you go. Thanks for bringing this. We don't get too many patients your size, but it's important that we have the proper medicine in stock for when we do. Unexpired, even."
"Yes, that part's important," I agreed.
She asked, "I hope the walkover was agreeable. Everything accessible and in good repair?"
"It was fine," I told her, folding away the holographics. "Great setup you have here." Moore grumbled an objection, but not loud enough for the sizer to pick up.
"So glad to hear it,"
she said to me.
"It's the least we can do to keep you little folks out of harm's way. Wouldn't want anyone to step on your cute little heads."
Moore made a snorting noise while I answered diplomatically. "Our cute little heads appreciate it." She flapped her ears and waved a trunk in body language that might have suggested she was embarrassed about her own choice of phrasing. Moore spoke up. "I have a quick question, if you don't mind." I raised an eyebrow, while the sizer encouraged him to ask his question. "We were having a conversation on the way here about the respective adorableness of other species," Moore said, flipping a tentacle between the two of us. "Is there a general opinion among sizers about small folks being cute?" She definitely looked embarrassed now, waving her trunk and glancing away like an elderly aunt who says something improper.
"Oh, well, some definitely are if you ask me, but I can hardly speak for everyone. Some, yes, with your cute little heads and tiny eyes. Absolutely precious."
She was looking at me. Moore's head was shaped like a squid. Hardly little.
"Anyways," she said, standing up straighter, "that hardly factors into making sure everyone has a safe route through town without a danger of getting stepped on. I'm very glad you found the walkways acceptable. Thank you again for this delivery."
"It was our pleasure," I said. Moore added, "Have a nice day," but she was already moving on to the next sizer in line. I met Moore's eye, holding in a snicker, and headed for the door. I made it outside before collapsing into laughter. "See? It's not just humans," I exclaimed. "She thinks we're cute." "I can't believe it," Moore said. "She really does, and the others probably do too." I pointed a finger at him, still laughing. "And she doesn't think you're cute." Moore folded half of his tentacles, standing tall on the other ones. "That's up for debate." "We have to tell Z. He'll think this is hilarious." Moore agreed. "He really will. Pity he didn't come today. I wonder if the sizers would think he looks like an adorable little youngling too." "Probably not, if I had to guess." I started a long walk back to our ship. My species isn't historically charmed by exoskeletons, and theirs may not be either. But who knows? We can always call them up and ask. I am absolutely not doing that. Yeah, me neither. But it would be funny.